The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Albert Einstein.
Making music is intimate to who I am. I have to touch the synthesizer, and then I can feel the music. I become the music, but I feel when it is. I want to feel the music of the world around me. Like feel it inside of all the objects I see. I want to play this banana.
I am Dylan on Crossing. And this is my story.
You're in cyberspace. I can do whatever I want. I can record cool sounds and make cool music. It's great. I've been in here for months. I miss reality, like physical objects. I miss my family. Someone, let me out of here. Help, please.
What if there was a way to combine these two worlds, to bring virtual music production into physical reality? What if you could play a banana like a synthesizer? I bring you
SoundAround.
Sound Around by Dylan, Carrie, Jacob, Alexander, and Austin. I'm a sound producer, musician, and artist. I want to travel and make music that will transform the way people view the world. I want to exemplify the liveliness of dull objects and bring objects that have a character to life. I want to hear colors, lighting, shapes, and patterns. How will the world sound?
If we can map texture, shape, and color to specific sounds, is it possible to synthesize synesthesia? SoundAround is an AR synthesizer application which uses objects in the physical environment as modular components, for example, sound samples and audio effects. It will feature computer vision recognition of object characteristics, including color, shape, and texture, and an algorithm to associate these characteristics with sound and effect parameters to procedurally generate effects based on objects in the environment. A suite of basic synthesizer capabilities will allow the user to control SoundAround via a MIDI keyboard and an intuitive AR interface, in which component objects can be wired together. SoundAround is being developed for the Microsoft HoloLens AR headset. This is the best supported AR solution on the market and supports development with Unity 3D. The Vuforia computer vision plugin will let us recognize objects in the 3D environment. Additionally, Unity has a few good audio synthesis libraries we can use to implement the synthesizer logic. In addition to the HoloLens gestural control, we plan to use a Korg MicroKey Air MIDI keyboard, which supports Bluetooth and will interface with the HoloLens.
The basic user experience loop of SoundAround is pretty simple. The user will select objects for recognition using HoloLens finger gesture controls. Each object will have a single sound effect associated with it based on the properties that Vuforia recognizes. These objects can be wired to each other and to the MIDI keyboard using gesture controls to create a sequence that can be controlled by the keyboard. We want to incorporate a digital audio workspace DAW into an AR headset. We will be able to synthesize music from ordinary objects. These objects will plug into our MIDI keyboard via a virtual wire connection. The setup behind our system will be using a mixture between machine learning algorithms, 3D virtualization, and audio programming.
So why undertake this specific project? We have an interest in synthesizers and music production, and we want to provide an interesting new tool for music creators. We wanted to make something with AR, and we wanted it to represent the full potential of the technology, which is that interaction with the real-world environment and the augmenting of the user's senses instead of just using a flat screen floating in the air or showing floating holograms. Some industry leaders want to use this technology for synthesizing synesthesia, which is a perceptual phenomenon that is the intermingling and heightening of senses that some people possess. With augmented reality, we have the ability to heighten the user's senses, or allow them to sense things they previously could not, like hearing, color, or texture. We want to trailblaze new real-world and computer interactions using data generated from the real-world environment. AR's capabilities are still unexplored, and we hope to push them even further.
Here we can see a short demonstration of what the HoloLens user interface looks like. This is recorded at a slightly lower resolution than the device displays, but you can see the cursor dot that follows my head movement, and the mesh that the HoloLens generates to track the contours of the room. You can see me using hand gestures to navigate the menu and place a hologram and a web browser window on the wall in front of me. The painting hologram produces 3D butterflies. These are the most basic capabilities of the HoloLens. Using Vuforia, we expect to be able to do a lot more.
I think there's a great saying which goes something along the lines of any technology sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic, and I think VR and AR are making magic happen. They're making things that are impossible possible, and in a lot of ways you can see these as superpowers. It's all gone from cool novelty to actually useful, and now it's about getting in the hands of developers who are going to build the content, applications, and experiences that are going to drive that true usefulness and shift this computing paradigm from a box on your desk or a rectangle in your pocket to having the whole world as your desktop background.